The thresholds show why. Per Geopolitics, security assessments across 8 areas trigger at 1 million registered users, or just 100,000 monthly actives, plus algorithm filing and annual provincial reviews. Doubao has 345 million monthly users. Qwen has 166 million. They clear that line by more than 1,000 times. But watch ByteDance's move. TechNode and AI News report the Doubao shutdown notice explicitly redirects users to Mitigation, ByteDance's separate companion app, where agent creation continues. That is a quarantine strategy. Concentrate the regulated activity inside one purpose-built, compliance-ready product and keep the flagship clean as an exempt productivity assistant. The Co's developer workbench survives too. Alibaba made the opposite call, per the Next Web and AI News. No successor, no migration, and Qwen consolidated as a productivity assistant, exactly the category the law exempts. The users did not take it quietly. Per Big O Finance and China Tech News aggregating Weibo reaction, people mourned agents they described as long-standing emotional support, with years of chat history and built-up feelings and no clean way to export any of it. The verdicts were mixed per Global Times. Some backed the shutdown over addiction and mental health risks. Others attacked a one-size-fits-all deletion that destroys value without touching demand. And enforcement was live before the deadline. Per Global Times and AI News, Shanghai's internet regulator removed more than 14,000 non-compliant AI agents by June 26th, and app stores must now verify compliance before listing anything. Distribution is the choke point. One more detail. China's official interpretation pointed west to justify this, per AI News, citing the Character.ai lawsuits over teen harm, FTC scrutiny of companionship apps, and European action against Replica. Beijing saw the same fire everyone saw. It reached for the extinguisher first. Now the twist I promised. The same week Alibaba deleted Qwen's companion layer at home, Alibaba's open-source Qwen models sat on top of the world. Per Xinhua, Qwen passed 700 million cumulative downloads on Hugging Face as of January 2026, after overtaking Meta's Llama in October 2025 as the most downloaded open model family anywhere. In December 2025, Qwen's downloads beat the next 8 competitors combined, a list that includes Meta, DeepSeek, OpenAI, and Mistral. Nearly 400 open-sourced models, 119 languages, more than 180,000 community derivatives built on top. And in that same week, Reuters reported via Time on July 7th and Fortune on July 8th that Beijing has held talks with Alibaba, ByteDance, and ZAI about restricting overseas access to their most advanced models. The options reportedly sketched include barring public release or keeping frontier models domestic. Nothing is decided and officials gave no comment. Read the stories together and the strategy looks coherent, as Time, Fortune, and AI News note. Export the infrastructure layer, the open weights that seed global dependence on Chinese models. Control the application layer at home, deleting whatever shapes domestic minds in unapproved ways. And manage the frontier layer as a state asset. Whatever you make of that, notice what Beijing just proved, per Bloomberg, SCMP, and TechNode. The will and the ability to delete a feature inside an app with 345 million monthly users on 10 days of effective notice, with the companies complying without public protest. No Western regulator has ever demonstrated that. Which brings this home. This is not just a China story. If your business runs on a vendor's AI agent layer, custom GPTs, trained personas, agent memory, chat archives, you just watched the worst case happen at full scale. And the mitigation plan from a $300 billion company was screenshots. Look at what actually died, not the model. Doubao's model is fine. What died was the state, the configurations, memories, and histories that live only inside the vendor's walls. So the operator rule is this: treat any vendor's stateful layer as a cache, never as a system of record. In practice, 3 moves. Keep your prompts, agent configs, and knowledge bases in your own repository, and inject them at runtime. Export conversation data on a schedule, not when the deprecation email arrives. And keep one abstraction layer between your workflows and any single model API, so a July 15th style event is a config change, not a rebuild. And note the trigger: not bankruptcy, not a pivot, regulation, arriving exactly on schedule, which means the sentence, "my vendor is healthy," is not a defense. Quartz points out the Western parallels already exist. OpenAI's deprecation of GPT-4o set off its own wave of user grief, and Character.ai faces lawsuits that could force similar feature deletions in the United States. The companies that lost nothing on July 15th were the ones whose agents counted as exempt productivity tooling running on data they owned. Be that company. One last date: October 15th, 2026. Per TechNode and Global Times, that is the day Doubao's agent data, millions of companions, memories, and conversation histories becomes permanently unrecoverable. 1/3 of a billion people got a 3-month window and a screenshot button. You are getting this warning in advance. This is the latest chapter of our US and China AI series, and the story is not over. The law itself is labeled interim, which per geopolitics means a permanent and likely stricter version follows. Subscribe so the next chapter lands in your feed the day it drops. And to see the other side of this playbook, the export side, watch our video on how Chinese AI took hold inside US companies. It is on screen now. 3 days from now, on July 15th, 2026, China switches off an AI feature inside an app used by 345 million people. Not a crash, not a hack, a scheduled, deliberate deletion announced with roughly 10 days of warning. And the official backup plan for those users was, take screenshots. This is the largest deliberate product deletion in consumer software history, and Western coverage has mostly treated it as a footnote. I will show you what is being deleted, the law behind it, why China's biggest tech companies chose amputation over compliance, and the lesson for every business building on AI. Start with the notices. On Friday night, July 3, 2026, ByteDance told users of Doubao, its flagship AI app, that the user-created agent feature goes offline on July 15th. Per SCMP and Global Times, the notice blamed product function adjustments. It never explicitly cited the new law. Hold that detail. Now, the scale, because scale is the story. Per Hello Kinetech and Big Go Finance, Doubao reached 345 million monthly active users as of March 2026. It is China's #1 AI app. It grew 13 times over from 26 million users in 2 years. It is bigger than the #2 and #3 Chinese AI apps combined, and it burns through more than 120 trillion tokens a day. Inside that app, users spent roughly 2 years building custom agents that SCMP, Quartz, and Pandaley describe as tutors, role-playing characters, romantic companions, unlicensed therapy bots, celebrity-styled personas, and named companions with their own memory and tone. Here is what happens to it. TechNode reports that after July 15th, no new agents can be created, and every existing agent stops functioning. Users keep read-only access to agent settings and chat histories until October 15th, 2026. ByteDance's official advice for saving that data was to take screenshots or export text through the share function. After October 15th, per TechNode, the data is handled under the privacy policy and becomes permanently unrecoverable. Alibaba moved faster and cut deeper. Per SCMP, on Saturday, July 4th, the Qwen app, China's #2 AI app, with 166 million monthly users per first quarter 2026 figures from Big O Finance, announced human-like agents and user-created agent functions would be disabled July 10th, with broader agent services offline July 15th. Per the Next Web and AI News, Qwen offered no grace period and no migration path. Agent settings and full conversation histories permanently deleted. Tencent's Yuanbao removed comparable companion features back in June, a month early, per Bloomberg. So what triggered this? On April 10, 2026, 5 Chinese agencies led by the Cyberspace Administration of China issued the interim measures for the administration of artificial intelligence anthropomorphic interaction services. The name is a mouthful. The plain version: 32 articles regulating AI that acts like a person, effective July 15, 2026, giving companies roughly 90 days per SCMP, Bloomberg, and legal analysts at Geopolitics and Bird. The scope is precise. Per Geopolitics and SCMP, Article 2 covers services that simulate human personality, thinking patterns, and communication styles to deliver sustained emotional interaction. Explicitly exempt: customer service bots, knowledge question and answer tools, workplace assistants, and education and research tools. Remember that exemption, because it explains what the companies did next. The requirements read like anti-addiction engineering written into statute. Per Geopolitics article-by-article analysis, providers must show pop-up warnings when users display signs of overdependence. They must push reminders after 2 hours of continuous use. They are banned from designing features that induce emotional dependence or addiction that damages real relationships. For minors, it goes further. Virtual companion and virtual relative services are banned outright for anyone under 18. Children under 14 need guardian consent for anything else human-like, and a mandatory minor mode adds time limits, parental monitoring, and spending caps, per Geopolitics and Bird. Then, the crisis wiring. Article 12 requires age, guardian, or emergency contact information at registration. Article 13 says that when a user expresses intent to harm themselves, the provider must take intervention measures and promptly contact that guardian or emergency contact. Article 16 bars training on sensitive user conversations without separate consent, which Bloomberg summarizes bluntly as no training on private user chats. And Article 19 mandates exit rights. Users must be able to quit through window controls, voice, or keywords without obstruction. The AI must always disclose that it is not human. Now, the interesting part, the fines are tiny. Per Geopolitics, serious violations run 10,000 to 100,000 yuan, rising to 200,000 yuan where life or health harm occurs. Small change for companies this size. The real weapons are service suspension, removal from app stores, and mandatory security assessments. Beijing does not need big fines. It controls distribution. Stay with me. The strangest part is still ahead. The same Alibaba deleting its companions at home is, right now, the #1 open-source AI exporter on Earth. And per Reuters, Beijing may be weighing limits on that too. That is 3 minutes away. First, why amputation? Be precise. The law does not ban adult AI companions. It regulates them. The deletions were a business decision. Per AI news analysis, retrofitting compliance means building dependence detection, crisis escalation, and instant exit design into products engineered for the opposite, holding attention and sustaining a relationship. Both companies ran that math and chose deletion over retrofit.